He says if we have winning behavior, we will. Winning behavior. All right. So looked at the game. The guys are in right now, lifting, had meetings, a lot to clean up. Some really good things and some bad things, too, that we got to learn from and get cleaned up, put us in a better chance to win the game. But big week ahead, and then we're off to Denver here this weekend.
In your eyes, what are some of those good things?
Our effort, our violence, some playmaking, some takeaways, some explosives, good things by all three phases. But all three phases got things to get cleaned up, too, so that's what it'll normally be.
You've seen Heave, you guys lost in most preseason. I know you want you guys to get used to winning, but in the grand scheme of things, does losing and winning in the preseason mean anything, or is it more like what you see from the guys?
Do I seem like that? What do you guys think? Yeah, I want to win a game. So do they. So we play to win a game. So felt like we needed to do more on my end first, then the coach's end second, and obviously the players to win a game. But, yeah, they matter. I know they don't count, but it matters.
With a guy like Cam Thomas, what was something that you challenged him with in the offseason, and how are you seeing him evolve his game?
Yeah, I think throwing his fastball, here's what he does really good at, here's what he's really good at, and do that as much as you can. He's done a good job. He's, we've mixed him different spots, particularly on pass downs. He had a good game, played well.
After looking back at the film, what did you make of Trey's game, Trey Benson?
I thought he played well. I thought he put the ball where it needed to go, broke some tackles, had some explosive runs in there. He did a good job.
How do you feel like he's developed from the start of camp to now?
Probably, I would say, all 5 buckets he's done a better job with, but just getting comfortable. Reps are gold for those guys, and getting comfortable with, what Autry's teaching, what the play is designed for, where to hit it, and then where he has some flexibility to kind of do his own thing. Not much flexibility doing your own thing, but where to put the ball. You know what I mean? So he's doing a good job.
Where have you seen that progress in terms of his mental recognition?
Say it again.
Trey again. Where have you seen that progress in terms of mental recognition? Just seeing.
What I would say is an accelerated vision of what the defense is going to do, because that plays into where to put the ball, and so you got the scheme, the run scheme, and here's, kind of on paper what it looks like, but then the accelerated vision of here is probably how the defense is going to react. So be ahead of that when it happens. I think he's doing a good job.
You mentioned after the game about needing to play smart and using brains. Curious your reaction on that last play with Weaver going as fast as he could to hand the ball to Keith, I think it was, who then waited for the official. Mm-hmm. Is that a good example of smart play? It
is. He should hand the ball to the ref so we don't have to wait for the ref to touch it. But that's in 2-minute mechanics, and I thought we did a good job of that as an offense as a whole for the most part.
You talked about wanting to win the game no matter what. How valuable is that when you're trying to change the culture and have the winning mentality, the winning behavior that you talk about? To win at everything.
Yeah, it's very valuable. If you're not doing that, what are you doing? So. But I think the most important thing now is do we learn from it and get better? So that's what they're doing.
The short kickoff, was that just what it was, or is that one of the strategies you guys are trying to figure out, I guess, where to
I'm gonna say what it was, Danny.
What do you make of how you guys have done with the kickoff rules so far?
Pretty good. Like where we're at, and we're changing things on the fly as we go.
Much experimentation with other teams with that yet?
Yeah, a lot. You gotta know what you're looking for, but yeah, there is.
JG, it's tough, obviously, week for you guys as coaches. Trying to get it down to the 53-man roster. Just what's the mindset for you guys, and does it get easier for your second year?
No, it's a hard couple days there, honestly, but because you want to keep all 90, because we got good guys in that locker room, and you just know that that's the business part of NFL football. You can't keep them all. So that's always a tough thing, but at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for the team moving forward, and they know that.
John Gaines got his first live look in a year. What did you see from him?
I thought he did well. I really did, and he came out a little bit, still looking at that, but came back in and finished the game. he looked good. He did a good job.
With Darius not playing last week, is it just kind of a testament to all the hard work he's put in, just now getting ready for the regular season?
No, because he's got to keep putting in hard work. That wasn't like a, hey, you're doing a great job, sit. But, yeah, I thought that he had a good week, Bo, honestly, the 2 days of practice, and he got a lot of reps. And that was kind of the plan for some of those guys. That's what we decided to do with him. But he's got to have a good week this week, too.
I know Xavier Weaver has popped a couple times on returns, but it looked like he had a couple of nice plays, a receiver in those joint practices. How would you assess where he is as a receiver right now?
He gets open and he catches it. You know, he's explosive. He's got pretty good route running instincts, as I would say, and he's got gas. So that's always typically a good thing. But he's doing a good job.
Cam Thomas got home twice, but LJ Collier got a sack, and Xavier Thomas got in the backfield a lot. You guys talked about rushing as a group.
Yeah.
How good has it been to see not only just one guy doing it, but as a unit?
Yeah, Donnie, I thought the rush plan was pretty good on Saturday night. I really do. And even, too, on mix downs, I think we're doing a better job of converting from run to pass, or when Nick does call something that he wants to get them going, they're getting going a little bit better. You know, quarterback got out a few times, so I'm always, you know, we got to make sure we get that cleaned up. Normally bad things happen when the quarterback gets out. But I think guys are doing what they're coached to do, playing with each other at a high level, you know, making sure that they're covering for each other. If a guy makes a certain move, who has the freedom to do that, who doesn't. I think they understand that a little bit better. And some guys are winning one-on-one, which is good to see.
There was a report that there was a roster move with Dennis.
Mm-hmm.
Can you confirm that?
Yeah, it's confirmed. I appreciate all his hard work. He's a warrior, man. He's been fun to be around for the last year and a half.
What did you see from Rabbit on Saturday? You talked about him after the game. It seemed like maybe there was some exciting stuff, but also some stuff that you're still challenging him to work on.
Yeah, I think just consistency of doing what he's coached to do. You know, the number one word that when you evaluate a safety, to me, my opinion, is reliability. So reps are gold for him because he hasn't seen everything like some vets have seen. He's got to make sure he's doing the right things. But he definitely pops off the tape with how he the plays that he can make. You know, the quickness, his instincts, his striking ability, that stands out on tape. He's doing a good job.
Another rookie tip. What are you seeing from him in the blocking game?
He's doing a good job. He's doing a good job. He can move people. He can negate one-on-one at the point of attack. He's good on the move. You know, he's got some things that he's working on with his game, with him and Ben. But I like where he's at.
What are those things?
I'm not going to get into that, Teo.
In what ways have you seen Rabbit's confidence start to flash on tape?
I think when you make plays and you consistently have some production, your confidence should go up. You know, hey, I did what they coached me to do and I made the play, you know. So that typically bodes well for young guys especially, that he can do those things for us. So I think I think the game's starting to slow down a little bit from that spot because we put a lot on those guys back there. We really do. You got to be able to think and process quickly. I think that part that he knows, you know, those mechanics even before the ball is snapped. I think he's gaining confidence doing those things.
Back to Trey for a second. How's he doing in pass protection?
Good.
Yeah, how's that? Back-to-back really good weeks. I think he's either tied or led the team in tackles both weeks. How good is it just not only have a corner be good in pass defense, but also fill those run gaps?
Yeah, I mean, he kind of plays like nickel safety for us, you know what I mean? And you see where he can cover people in the slot, and then when he's in the core and even in space too, he can tackle backs, which is a good skill set to have. He's doing a really good job. He's a smart player. You know, we ask him to learn a couple different spots at fourth down as well. Handles it, flies around, plays with great energy. He's doing a good job.
Max and Star each made a play here and there that were noticeable. Have you seen any kind of separation at this point to make you?
No, they're all competing for their roles right now. They're doing well.
You come out of this game pretty healthy.
We did.
when you're looking at these roster decisions over the next week, how do you balance kind of, maybe you have a guy who's more ready to contribute now versus a guy who you want to continue developing a young guy?
It's a good question. Yeah, there's a lot of factors at play, but it all stems back from the first thing is how are we going to beat Buffalo? And then there's a bunch of different factors from there, what you got to weigh, when you start making decisions. So Monty does a good job of, making sure he keeps the main thing, but also having some foresight of what's down the road and what things you have to balance, and we'll be convicted on who we keep. I know that.
I know you talk about, you got to do what's best for the team. But when it comes to the emotion part of, knowing this kid has played his butt off for you and you wish you had a spot for him, but sometimes it's just a numbers game where you can't put on the team. How difficult is that to make that decision and talk to them about
Tough. But it is very difficult, but the building in there is very open, and we have a lot of conversations. So it'd be probably even tougher if I never talked to a guy, but I pretty much talk to these guys a decent amount. So they know it comes from a place of love and care and empathy, I would think, too, with those guys. But they understand the business side of it, too. So, but they're always hard conversations.
How do you and Monty decide how many players per room you want to keep per position?
You gotta balance. That's a good question. You kind of have an outline of what you think, how we play on all three phases: offense, defense, special teams, obviously. But you don't have to always stick to that outline. We're going to try to keep the best football players we can.
What did you like seeing from the first team offense and joint practices last week with Kyler running things?
Flashes of really good stuff on both the run and the pass game, honestly. You know what I mean? They know what they need to improve on. We didn't close out known pass the last two days as well as we would have liked. So we got to make sure that we keep upticking that. But I like where they are with, from an operational standpoint, where the ball's going. The run game is never as real as if you're tackling a guy, because that adds another element into what the run game really looks like. But we got to have a good week this week of what we're doing this week on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But I like where they're at.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.